I first learned about Marisa of Liartop Mountain earlier this year when the first demo for it dropped. I don't have footage of it, but after playing that demo I was left with a solid impression of the game and looked forward to its release in September. What I saw was pretty sick and interesting. It's a game that is going for the choose-your-own-adventure style of gameplay. Marisa of Liartop Mountain is clearly directly inspired by something called Warlock of Liartop Mountain. Got the same name scheme and everything. I hadn't heard of this or whatever the fuck the fighting fantasy series is until I played Marisa of Liartop Mountain. As far as I can tell, Warlock of Liartop Mountain is a choose-your-own-adventure type book that's got stats and dice rolls and all that shit. These kind of books are out of my area of expertise, but what is in that area includes the video game adaptation of the book. The game version definitely served as the aesthetic basis for Marisa of Liartop Mountain. You've got your narration through written text, tabletop-ass player pieces, and the way that the environment falls around you as you enter a new area. Marisa of Liartop Mountain does deviate a lot from this game though, especially mechanically, but it is still cool to see the direct line of inspiration for something like this. Thank you to my supporters. If you liked the video, consider subscribing or even joining the Patreon, link on screen and in the description. If you do, you'll be thanked in the videos, be able to watch each video a week early, as well as gain access to bonus videos. The biggest deviation mechanically would be that Marisa of Liartop Mountain drops any grid-based combat and instead handles all interactions through dice rolling. I do mean nearly every interaction too. Combat is obvious, fuck 'em up with the dice, but also stealth, solving riddles, and bartering all require you to get those good dice rolls. Now you might hear that and think that's some bullshit. Everything being dice rolls? That shit sounds luck dependent as hell. How could that be fun? As we all know, luck is a skill. Just be better at being lucky. Nah, but for real though, every dice roll is about how well you can stack the odds in your favor. There's a hell of a lot of dice variety in this game. You got the basic ass D6. You know, the shit everyone is familiar with. But then you can get other dice that's from 3 to 6, or has 3 zeros on it, or is multiplicative by 8, 1, or just straight up 0. Dice with only even numbers, or a die that's based on thorium-232 decay. That shit is insane. With this collection of dice that you pick up over the game and rotate in and out of your inventory, you're free to choose any of the 2 you've currently got for any and all rolls. Well, that is until they eventually run out of uses. Ask to roll high? That ain't nothing with Fury dice. How about rolling low? I got a times 0 right here for you. Wait, you really want me to pull out a number on the Fibonacci sequence? That's something I really think is cool about this game, is how it asks for a variety of ranges and numbers for you to roll. This shit would be lame as hell if all you had to do for every roll was to get as high as possible. But instead the game might ask you to roll a number between 5 and 7 to succeed, which not only keeps you on your toes, but also requires you to have a variety of dice on hand. You can't just be a high roller all the time. There's an instance in the game where you're asked to roll a 1, a 2, and a 3 in succession. I saw that and I was like, how the fuck do you expect me to roll a 1 with 2 dice? The answer requires you to use a die that's got a 0 on it. It's shit like this, where the game asks you to think creatively with the tools, or rather dice, that you've got on hand and make the best with what you've got. As you progress through the chapters in Marisa of Liartop Mountain, the game will ask for different style of rolls. Like, at the start it's kept pretty simple, mostly asking you to just roll high. By the time you get your bearings and a decent dice collection going, now you're in chapter 2 with completely different rules. Now the name of the game is to roll low. Gotta think completely differently about which dice you grab and how and when to use them, especially if you've got a bunch of leftover big numbered dice. That shit might mess you up now. And by the time that gimmick runs its course, it is asking for mid-range rolls, but also introducing debuffs to your dice rolls. Think you can roll a 2? Get fucked. Each chapter has their own type of gimmicks, not just in what the rolls require of you, but also moving around the map in each chapter. And each chapter is also 2 hours long, like consistently 2 hours long. It's impressive how similarly paced each chapter is. What that means is that by the time the game explores its gimmick and that gimmick mostly runs its course, then you're probably finishing up that chapter and moving on to the next. Now of course, that implies that Reimu here plays fairly. Fuck that, give that bitch the NTR tag because I'm cheating like crazy. You can get points that, okay, I've got a fucking bone to pick with game designers, stop calling your resources CP, stop it. Makes this shit uncomfortable as hell to talk about. Anyway, Reimu be collecting CP. and with those points she's able to cheat the system and force a reroll if you don't like the outcome of a roll. Pretty useful to have. Hey, you saying I missed? Think again. About to get your shit rocked. I'll be real. I don't fully understand why this game is even a Touhou derivative work. I love Touhou, and the art and music arrangements present in Marisa of Liartop Mountain are fucking great. Some good eats for the eyes and ears. But there really isn't anything here that requires it to be attached to Touhou. The story doesn't require it. Marisa gets sucked into a storybook and Reimu follows her in looking for her. That's not unique to this. Fucking Sonic did that shit. You don't interact with Touhou characters. I mean, the Scarlet Devil cast do play a role in this game as the in-universe game masters, but I'll get back to them in a bit. And the worlds you go through are not Touhou related at all either. You've got a library, Arabian Nights, Little Red Riding Hood, but maybe sometimes Yellow Hood or Blue Hood, and a circus tent. None of that is Touhou related at all. So the entire time playing it, I kept wondering why. If you were to blur out Reimu, nothing about this says Touhou at all. But at the same time, I wouldn't have known about this game at all if it wasn't derivative. Marketing is hard, and it is harder to sell something wholly unique than it is to say, hey, it's the thing you like. But also it means that you don't need to spend time establishing characters. Reimu and the Scarlet Devil cast don't need to be fleshed out as much. All you have to do is catch the player up to speed with their general personality traits. So I do understand why it is derivative in that sense. It just makes me wonder why more wasn't borrowed from the source. The most Touhou representation here, outside of the main character being Reimu of course, is the cast of the Scarlet Devil Mansion. They're here reading through the storybook that Reimu and Marisa are trapped in, reading along as if they are playing a choose-your-own-adventure book. The entire time, throughout the whole game, they're giving their commentary and thoughts of the events happening. Every encounter, whenever you move to a new screen, and when you finish the chapter, and they've got a little chat about the events. A lot of it is very humorous, the writers putting in little one-off jokes here and there. Romelia ignoring workers' comp, everyone clapping and not giving a fuck, Patchouli being called cringe, the reoccurring joke of Sakuya finding weird shit cute. There's some good bits here. It adds a lot of charm and personality throughout the game. Even the most mundane actions are made exciting because then you get to read someone say some bullshit about it. It's pretty great. Hey, skip to whatever time code is on the screen because I'm going to talk about the new Game Plus bonus you get if you care about spoilers. For those that haven't skipped forward, when you beat the game, there's brand new commentary. Like, wholesale new shit. Patchouli and Sakuya dip out on the replay, and Reimu and Marisa take their seat instead. So now you've got these two to bounce off the Scarlet Sisters, giving their own takes and perspective on the situations throughout the whole game. That's a lot of additional writing that most people probably won't see. So props to the devs for even including a bonus like this to begin with. Fortunately, on New Game Plus, you carry over your stats and ending dice, so you're able to steamroll the game and expedite the process of seeing the new dialogue. I really like Marisa of Liartop Mountain. It's a very simple game, one that I didn't find very difficult either. I will say that I think limiting the amount of bookmarks per chapter would have made Chapter 4 a lot more interesting. It's really easy to abuse save scumming there to just ace the challenges in the circus. I would absolutely recommend the game. Despite its simplicity, the devs at Alliance Arts and Unknown X knocked it the hell out of the park. Especially for $15. I do not think that you'd be making a mistake if you chose your next adventure to be Marisa of Liartop Mountain.